Most people think a tornado is just one thing, a spinning funnel that looks the same every time. But here is what most don't realize. Some tornadoes are so thin you might not even notice them, while others are so massive they can swallow entire neighborhoods. What if I told you that one tornado became the most photographed in history, while another wiped out whole towns in minutes, without people even seeing it coming? And as you are watching this, the real question is, if one suddenly appeared near you, would you even recognize what type it is? Landspout. A landspout looks simple at first, almost harmless compared to bigger tornadoes. It forms from the ground up, like someone twisting air from the surface into the sky. Unlike the more powerful types, it doesn't come from a strong rotating storm, which makes it weaker, but that doesn't mean safe. Enough to flip small vehicles or tear roofs apart. Imagine standing outside and suddenly seeing a thin spinning column forming in a field nearby, like someone drew a shaky line with a marker into the sky. Would you take it seriously or ignore it? Most people ignore it, and that's where it becomes dangerous. There have been cases where landspouts damage farms within seconds, catching people completely off guard. That's when the real danger starts. Waterspout. A waterspout forms over water, and at first, it doesn't even look like a tornado. It often begins with a dark patch on the surface, then a swirling ring of spray, and only after that does the funnel appear. But here is what does not make sense at first. Even though many waterspouts are weaker, they can still overturn boats and throw water high into the air. Winds can reach around 150 kilometers per hour. So if you were on a small boat and saw the water starting to spin, what would you do? Turn away immediately or freeze? In 2016, several waterspouts hit the coast of Italy within minutes, damaging boats and injuring people who didn't react fast enough. And if a waterspout moves onto land, it can turn into a real tornado. That's when the real danger starts. Supercell tornado. This is the type most people imagine, and also the most dangerous. A supercell tornado forms inside a massive rotating storm, and once it touches the ground, it can stay there for a very long time. These tornadoes often don't look dramatic at first. Sometimes they are hidden in rain, or appear as a dark wall. The 2013 El Reno tornado in the United States became the widest ever recorded, nearly 4 kilometers across. Think about that for a second. That's not a funnel. That's an entire moving wall. If you were driving and saw something like that ahead, would you even understand what you were looking at? Yes, but probably too late. That's when the real danger starts. Multi-vortex tornado. At first glance, this looks like a normal tornado, but inside, it's much more chaotic. A multi-vortex tornado contains several smaller tornadoes spinning around each other. Imagine multiple invisible whips rotating inside one larger storm. Here is what does not make sense. One house can be completely destroyed, while the one next to it is almost untouched. Why? Because one of those smaller vortices passed directly over it. In some recorded cases, wind speeds inside these subvortices exceeded 320 kilometers per hour. So if you were hiding in a house, thinking you were safe, would that actually protect you? Maybe, maybe not. Wedge tornado. A wedge tornado doesn't look like a tornado at all. It looks like a massive wall of darkness, wider than it is tall. Sometimes you can't even see the funnel, just a huge shape moving toward you. But here is what most don't realize. These are often the strongest tornadoes. And they don't just damage buildings, they erase them. The 2011 Joplin tornado is one of the deadliest examples, destroying large parts of a city in minutes, and causing billions in damage. Imagine looking outside, and not seeing a funnel, just a dark wall slowly covering everything. Would you recognize it as a tornado? No. And that confusion costs time you don't have. Rope tornado. A rope tornado is thin, twisted, and often appears near the end of a tornado's life. It looks almost harmless, like a piece of rope hanging from the sky. Winds can still exceed 150 kilometers per hour. Tornadoes have caused injuries even in their final seconds, simply because people underestimated them. Cone tornado. A cone tornado has the classic shape people imagine, wide at the top and narrow at the bottom. It often looks balanced, almost perfect in form. But don't let that fool you. These tornadoes can still be extremely powerful, with winds over 250 kilometers per hour. One of the most photographed tornadoes in history, the 2013 South Dakota tornado, had this exact shape. While people were capturing images, it was still a deadly force. So if you saw something that looked that perfect, would you stay and watch, or run? Rain-wrapped tornado. A rain-wrapped tornado is one you often cannot see at all. It is hidden behind heavy rain, completely invisible until it is extremely close.